Thank you. This is really great today. And my question has shifted a lot.
Oh, that lets us know how good the day was. Because it's not about where you were, it's about where you are.
Yeah. I'd love to discover with you this place of knowing the difference between my desire changing and the path of least resistance that my inner being is taking me on to get to my desire.
Why is the distinction important to you?
Because...
Why can't both be true?
Ooh.
Law of attraction says they have to be.
Yeah.
Because the path of least resistance adjusts according to the expansion of the desire. Let's say that you're going to meet somebody in New York and you've decided that you're going to meet. But when you made the decision, you planned on driving. That felt like the path of least resistance because it cost less and you had more time. But now the desire has changed that you want to meet tomorrow. So the path of least resistance is no longer driving. It's a faster conveyance. So the path of least resistance is to get on an airplane. And if the desire is clear, then the cost factor does not enter in because it just doesn't make sense to do anything except if you're going to stay true to your desire to get on an airplane and go. The path of least resistance will always shift as the desire shifts.
Okay, I think I'm confusing contrast and
what you're getting at is something. We're going to introduce this, and it's what you're getting at, but it will help, and then this will go faster. When you are all tuned in, tapped in, turned on, and you just get this strong urge about something, and so you take the action and you do it. And then later, maybe you're not as tuned in, tapped in, turned on, and now you have getter's remorse, or asker's remorse, or buyer's remorse. And it isn't because that was wrong-headed. It's because you were inspired from one vibration, and now you're looking at it from a lower vibration. And we think that's at the heart of this question that you're asking. So what's the true desire? In order to figure it out, go as general as you can go. Try to step back from the specifics and just think about what the original desire, what that was. What were you reaching for?
To have a family.
Yeah.
It's really easy for me to get pregnant.
Yeah.
I think about it, I get pregnant, it's awesome. And I miscarried 5 times in the last 4 years. So there's this place of, is this my inner being directing me in the path of least resistance? Because being a family, like birthing a baby myself, isn't, like, that's not it. The path of least resistance is somehow some other place, like that original desire to.
But here's the thing that you're not factoring in. It's so normal, not from a source perspective, but from a human behavioral perspective, to have an experience, an unwanted one, and focus on it so tightly that your vibration is about that, which means it happens again and it happens again and it happens again and it happens again. And all it is an indicator of resistance. It doesn't mean that what you want has gone away. It doesn't mean that there's even been anything lost. It means that each time there's a stronger asking, but you're not being true to your asking, you're being true to your memory. That's why we've been so strong about that. Even impertinent and rude seeming, we don't care about what has been. We don't even care about what is, because do you know the thing that keeps you from what you want? Your attention to what is, because what is never holds everything that you want. Oh, here's a stronger way of saying this to you. As long as you are here in this physical body, there will always be some degree of disappointment at all times, because your vortex version is always more than what you're ready to allow. So it's just a constant reaching for satisfaction. As soon as you find vibrational alignment with something that you want, what you want will become more. That's why you have to become one with the continuation of yourself, of the evolution of yourself, of the expansion of yourself. And you have to give up that bogus, flawed premise that somebody put in your head that you're here to find perfection and hold yourself there so that somebody can deem you perfect. When perfection is a flawed premise, you can't stand still. If you are eternal, you must continue to become more. And if we were standing in your physical shoes, we'd decide pretty quick that we're at one with the becoming, at one with the becoming, at one with the becoming, at one with the becoming. On a pretty regular basis, Esther will say something to someone that she loves, daughter. Her daughter, who has been so wonderfully close with Esther, remembers when that wasn't the intention of her mother. And so she wants to remind her mother, but remember that time when I said and you said? And Esther says, you have to let me evolve. Don't hold me to everything I ever told you. In fact, if you can, forget it all. Forget it all, because I didn't know or want then what I know and want now. Yeah. But, with your mother or with a lot of people, you expect them to have figured it all out. You don't get to evolve. You should have already been there so that I could have calibrated to you and used you for my guidance. And now you're arbitrary? Yeah, that's what creators are. You're arbitrary because you're in the state of becoming. You've got to let yourself continue to desire. So let's focus, as we were talking with our friend earlier, let's focus the emotion rather than the subject. Rather than the subject of pregnancy or the subject of baby or the subject of family, the subject of children, rather than focusing that subject, which can take you all up and down the emotional scale. Nothing more irritating to someone who really wants to be pregnant than to meet people who are pregnant accidentally. It's like, that's just jacked up. Just doesn't seem right that you should stumble into the thing that I really want like that. Not even appreciate it. But when you make it an emotional thing, in other words, what's that about? What is it about? What is the emotion of parenting?
Expansive.
Good response. What else? Object of attention to which I can flow love. And can't that be anyway?
Mm-hmm.
It's the flowing of it. In other words, don't let anything that has been be your reason for expecting it again. Now that takes us to the most important thing that we've been talking about here today. Drum roll. Words don't teach. It's only life experience that teaches. So when you have life experiences you don't want, you learn vibrational patterns that hold you where you don't want to be. That's all that's going on. Is it meant to be? No, it's just something that you're doing because you're focused upon something and you've got yourself trending in this because what is seems so real. And we get that, friends. We talked about that a little earlier. When something manifests, wanted or not wanted, let's say when something unwanted manifests, the problem seeking the solution that we were talking about earlier. When something unwanted manifests, you all want to jump in with both feet to fix it with action. But you didn't create it with action. You created it with vibration. So what you want to do is respond with an emotional desire, not an action desire. So let's do some doors. So you speak the first door from even where you are right now, because where you are right now is where you've been on this subject. In other words, we haven't moved you much at all with all of our conversation here, and we get why. So make your statement, make the best statement that you can make. Make a statement of as least resistance as you can find about this subject of getting pregnant and carrying it to full term. It's hard for you to find it because what's going around in your mind is about your own weakness or your own not readiness or your own doing something wrongness. But just try to find the pure desire in this. I want. Don't say I expect. Don't say I demand. Don't say I've decided. You can start with a weaker word like want. I want.
I want to have a baby.
All right. I want to have a baby. Leave her alone. They support your desire. I want to have a baby, but can you feel how yearning that was? I want this thing I do not have. I want this thing that feels hard to do. I want this thing that feels far away. And so it's where you are, and it's just fine. It's got to be all right because it's where you are. But now let's choose another door. Choose another door or another path or another sentence with the intention of it being a little less resistance.
Wouldn't it be nice to be able to be the vessel for...
That's good. Now that was a big jump. That's a big jump. Take a couple before that one.
I love having sex with my partner.
I wonder if he's the creator of all of this problem. Another.
I'd like to enjoy the process, and I imagine it being less fearful.
Another.
Lots of people do it.
Another. Another. What has been is not important to what is now.
Yeah.
And what is now is not important to what's coming. Kind of boring, but it was less resistant. What else? Probably been plenty of people like me that wanted what I want and now have what I want. So many people, we've talked with so many of them, that were right where you are and finally did what you were implying earlier with your heartbreaking. They did something other than give birth. They adopted.
Yeah.
Or stole someone else's child at the grocery store. We made that up. And then they got pregnant because lack of baby was what they were experiencing. Once they had a baby, then they weren't offering a vibration of lack of baby, and then they got more babies. And so you don't have to take the action. You can deal with it vibrationally. You can start right now by not feeling lack of baby. Next door, all in good time. Next door, maybe I'm still figuring some things out. Next door, it's a sure thing. The timing I'm not so sure about, but that's okay. Next door, boy, it's going to be really exciting when this happens. Next door, just keep reaching for the emotion. Don't look for the solution before you find the emotion. I'm getting closer to your bumper sticker. Don't look for the solution before you find the emotion. Find the emotion which allows the solution. But when you find the emotion, now you're not looking for the solution because the emotion is the manifestation that you're looking for. And then what you call the solution isn't really a solution to a problem because the problem is no longer active within you. And so it's just the next logical step. Did you get all of that? That was really, really good. Yeah? Yeah. We have enjoyed this interaction more than any that has ever come before. It is delicious to be with you and to feel the clarity of your desire and the evolution of it, even as we are mixing together in this way. Your inner beings are alert to you, aware of you, and energized in new ways because of your focus. In other words, as you get closer to knowing what your inner being knows about the details of your personal experiences, important, intimate details like this, not general things, not I hope I live happily ever after kind of things, specific things that you as creators want and must get from your life experiences. Nothing is off limits for you. And if you're not getting what you're wanting, it's simply because you're focused upon what is and not giving yourself the permission to feel it before you get it, because there have been so many people around you saying, you must be realists. How dare you think lots of thoughts outside the current reality that you live? And you say, because I'm a creator, that's what creators do. Creators always look beyond what is with eagerness about being in on the incremental evolving. Ooh, getting to see it becoming is the very best thing, getting to feel it and see it becoming. So there's lots of that in your immediate futures, and it is our powerful understanding, knowing, and yes, desire that you connect the dots, that you feel and then notice, and feel and then notice, and then deliberately adjust that feeling and then notice. Empower yourselves, because nothing else is fun. It's not fun to watch other powerful people. You didn't come to observe. You came to create. There is great love here for you. So good. Really, really good. So good. I love you. Oh, so good.